Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, September 4, 2025. Your date for Friday the 5th. All right, let's go. Well, kind of a flattish kind of day in the portfolio. A little negative. ABCL, a little bit of a bounce there. He tried to say, helping out a little. I do like this ATAI. It's not a perfect setup. Notice the range as far as the stop, and that's what it calls for. Let's take a look at that. This is one that I have been talking about for a while, so let's take a look at that. Sorry about that. I'd like a little deeper pullback, but I feel like it's one where I'd be more angry if I missed it than if I didn't. And with today's action, it's a little bit more of a knockout move, and I think that helps. But ideally, I like a little bit more. Now, the parameters are fairly wide, and that's just what it calls for. This thing can move quite a bit over a short period of time. HV is fairly high at 87. Anytime you get close to 100, it starts getting a little crazy. We have one short in here. I don't see any reason to short the metals, but this is a little bit concerning since metals have been doing well for a stock like this. Also, it's really too cheap to short. I just like to show you what I'm seeing as I'm seeing it. For now, let's stick with the ATAI as a possible setup. This one here, super crazy. Lots of volume though, but absolutely ludicrous if you wanted to go after something crazy. Like I said last night, just make sure you're willing to, whatever you put up, you're willing to lose. I don't want to encourage you too much on that one. I better shut up before I say anything else. Nice little bounce in ABCL. Let's not start kissing each other just yet, but good to see it finding a little support and bouncing before hitting the stop, obviously. KGC down a little, but it's been on a tear as of late, so I'm not going to get too excited about that. Kato's off its worst levels, just finding a little support around that 30 EMA. So far, so good. As you know, we're in longer-term trend following mode there. TFPM pulling back a little, but so far it looks pretty good, just off of those brand new highs, or not too far from brand new highs. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a bit. Couple of interesting developments. First of all, S&P 500, we're just a smidge below all-time highs. So you know me, I'm not going to, as a trend guy, I like to see that a lot. And I'm also encouraged that we came back from this little slide that we had so quickly. And when that happens, it becomes a bit of a do-over, so to speak. A lot of people who get a little bearish too soon get trapped on the wrong side of the market. And then the FOMO also kicks in because people are waiting for it to pull back further. And they're like, hey, I'm going to get in as soon as it pulls back a little further, and it never does. Nasdaq Composite just shy of all-time highs. Not too far to go there. So far, so good. Kind of hugging that 30 EMA, but looking pretty darn good. Rusty 2000 right here at multi-month high. So that's a good thing. A little bit more fluff to get through to get to all-time highs, but hey, you know the routine, one day at a time. Mags made it back to new highs nicely. They got hit fairly hard with the overall market a few days ago. I think it was on Friday, but so far coming back nicely. Was that Tuesday? Okay, so it was on Tuesday. But anyway, brand new highs for Mags. Pot stocks continue to pull back, but they look okay. Problem here is there's lots of overhead resistance in some of the individual issues, and that's no big shocker. Look at the overhead resistance there. Let's take a look at a couple other areas. Gold, the commodity, coming in a little bit, but it could use a breather. Nice little breakout, obviously, remains intact there. Ditto for the gold stocks, coming in a little bit. They could actually use a little bit more correction. That would actually be positive for the market. Software finding a little support. Still look a little toppy, though. Kind of hard to get excited about that at this juncture. Now, hardware, kind of interesting, actually broke out to brand new highs. There it is. As you can see, breaking it out to new highs with a bit of vigor. Still has to go just a smidge more, but it closed right at all-time high, so that's certainly a good thing there. Take a look at we already looked at Mags. What else did I want to show you tonight? Oh, home builders coming back nicely today. Nice little rally. They still have their work cut out for them, but good to see them coming back. Telecom banging out new highs with a bit of vigor. Financials looking pretty good right at these all-time highs. So for the most part, things are looking pretty good. Biotechnology, a little flatsville. So far, in a nice uptrend, and still is a little fluff to get through. But as I've been saying, and ATAI would be a good example, there has been some really interesting stocks on an individual basis there. Semiconductors, nice little bounce there. So this, as long as we stay at or near that 30 EMA and we don't take out these recent lows, then it would suggest that this is just a consolidation type of base, and they still have the potential to go higher. I'd feel a lot better, of course, if they got back above that 30. Broker dealer coming back nicely in here, as you can see, pushing toward that 30 EMA. So far, it's base building too. So overall, things look pretty good. When the market's at or near new highs, obviously you want to give it the benefit of the doubt, and that's what we're doing, even though we're seeing a short showing up here and there. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, you go to routine. Thank you so much.